So here we are at a SharePoint site. What I've done is I've made it nice and easy for the user to navigate. For example, I can go into a document library simply by clicking on that icon. You'll see that I get a list of documents here. You'll notice that I get the presence here via a link indicating that I'm logged in and active and available, obviously, to do chats about this document if required. Now, with a list of documents that gets quite large, you'll notice that they basically can be a little bit hard to find, but that's no problem with SharePoint. What we can do is, firstly, we can sort them. So if I click on this, it will then sort them from A to Z, and if I select it again, it will sort them from Z to A. Now, better than that, what I can do is I can go to a column heading, and I can, for example, filter on just XLSX files. Now, you'll see that once I apply that filter, it removes anything that doesn't match that filter. The column has a filter icon next to it indicating that it is being filtered. Now what I can also do is, using the same sort of filtering concept, I can create what's known as views in SharePoint. So a view is a way to categorize your data or to display your data in different means, like we've got here. So what I've done is I've actually set it up so that it's grouped by the category, and if we need to change any of these categories, so if we need to work on a document, we can simply select that. You'll see that up the top there, when I do that, the ribbon appears, so very much like a desktop application. I can then go in and edit the properties for this, and I can then say, okay, the category for this I've decided is a report, and I save that field. Now that category field is a field that I've added. That is known as metadata, and the reason that I add that is that it makes it much easier for me to sort and, in this case, group my data. Now the other option you'll see that I've got here is the ability to find a file. So at the top of my list, I can, for example, type in bikes, hit enter, and it will then search what my document library contains and returns the item that I'm searching for. Now, what I've done in this case, if I go back to the home page of my SharePoint site, I've put a search widget on the front page there. So if I do a search for my surname, it will then search all the contents in this site and return the results for me. So obviously you can see the Hello World document that I created, and what I can do now is, you know what, I only want to look at Word documents that I've created, and I only want to see the ones that I've authored. So again, on the left hand side, you can then start refining your search to find exactly what you want. Now, as you see on the right hand side, if I mouse over, I get a preview, I get all the documents, I can go in and directly edit it, and I can choose if I want to send that to somebody else to review and to work on. Now what I can do is I can take this document library offline with me. So what I do is I simply hit the sync button. That will give me the option to sync now. I accept that. That will then go in and launch OneDrive for Business that I have on my desktop. And again, it's syncing in the background. So I'll have a look at my files here. And what you'll see here in my list of files is that in my favorites, I have my OneDrive for Business and my personal files over here. Okay. But I also have my SharePoint document library. So you'll see here one called Safety Documents. So this is this document library I'm working on here, which I've just synchronized. And you'll see in here, here's a list of the documents that match this library. Now, if I go to my contacts here, and for example, if I'm looking for a contact called Dore, D-O-R-E, again, I can do a search, and that will then give me that contact directly. Now, not only can I link my SharePoint with my desktop, what I can also do in this case, because I've got a contacts library, what I can do is if I go up to list, you'll see that I have the option to connect to Outlook. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this contacts list to my Outlook. So I say that's okay. It will then launch into Outlook and allow me to create basically have that. So I say, yep, I want to add that. That's fine. So what we see in a minute is if we go to people, we'll see that we now have an extra additional contact here called safety-contacts. So this is up. So again, if we go in here and we do a search for our friend Dore, what we'll find is there she is there with all the details that basically match our our user that we also have on our site. So now I can work with these contacts, whether they are in SharePoint Online or whether they are in Outlook. This has just been a very basic, quick overview of what's involved. I certainly hope you've got something out of it.